I will take you through the key VAT measures that were announced in Wednesday's budget. Excuse me, just clear my throat. Okay, so first of all, there was an expectation that VAT on domestic energy would be cut to help households. That wasn't actually brought into play, and the Chancellor announced that energy costs would be lowered through other cuts to green levies on energy bills. So for domestic energy, the VAT rate will remain at 5%. So it's a reduced rate anyway, but unfortunately no cuts there for domestic VAT on fuel. Excuse me. Potentially more interesting and more wide-ranging is a legislative change to VAT on private hire vehicles. So this is a change around the tour operators margin scheme. It's something that HMRC are really not very happy with at the moment, because lots of operators are trying to shoehorn their services, if you like, into the TOMS scheme, which effectively means that they only account for VAT on the margin of their supplies rather than the full value. We've seen HMRC attacking this in court with the resale of property, furnished accommodation, etc. And there have been cases with Bolt and Uber at court as well. So rather than keep trying to argue this through the courts, the Chancellor has announced that legislatively the loophole will be closed for ride-hailing apps who are using TOMS to reduce the amount of VAT payable. The next one is electronic invoicing. Now, this is going to be a huge and significant change for businesses. So it was announced that electronic invoicing will be introduced from April 2029. That sounds like a long way away, but if you think about the lead time that's required for businesses to get that IT infrastructure in place and to make sure that the security and integrity of that financial information is secured, it actually is a fairly short window of time. So this will apply for all B2B transactions in the UK from April 2029. And it follows similar implementation across the EU, and it's effectively aimed at reducing VAT fraud. So not unexpected. Another interesting key measure that was introduced, or abolition, if you like, was that the low value import relief that is currently available for goods imported into the UK with a value of £135 or less will be abolished from March 2029. So currently, the landscape is that customs duties and import VAT are removed at the border for such low-value imports, and it's only domestic VAT that's due on the sale. Now, if the seller is selling directly to consumers, the seller is responsible for accounting for that domestic VAT. If they sell through an online marketplace, such as Amazon, then the online marketplace is responsible for accounting for that VAT. So how this will operate in practice, the details are to be confirmed. Have announced that they are putting out a consultation for businesses and interested parties to provide their comments and feedback. That consultation is live, and business can submit their responses to that. We believe that it's likely that lots of overseas sellers of such low value goods, usually sold to consumers through platforms such as TikTok Shop and etc., will now have a responsibility to register for UK VAT, well, with effect from March 2029. So there will likely be a huge increase in VAT registrations for sellers of such goods. The final point, and quite a niche point, but if it does impact you, will have a significant financial opportunity, relates to UK branches of overseas head offices. So a significant reclaim opportunity has arisen following the budget for UK branches of overseas head offices. HMRC issued a revenue and customs brief on budget day, confirming that the CJEU Scandia judgment no longer applies in the UK. So what does that actually mean? Well, under the UK's VAT grouping provisions, a body corporate, such as a company, must have an establishment in the UK to join a UK VAT group. However, unlike in Sweden, which was the location of the Scandia case, the whole body corporate is part of the VAT group, not just the establishment, the branch or the head office in the UK. And therefore, under the UK's VAT grouping provisions, services provided between an overseas establishment and a UK establishment of that body are not normally supplies for UK VAT purposes, as they're transactions within the same taxable person and the same legal entity. This is a change of policy which allows significant reclaim opportunities for UK VAT groups that have previously accounted for VAT under the reverse charge on supplies from overseas head offices. So really, you're looking at instances where the UK branch is partially exempt and is part of a larger UK VAT group and has received supplies from overseas head offices such as IT recharges, management recharges, etc. And previously under the Scandia judgment had to account for the reverse charge, VAT on the reverse charge. Now, as a result of this brief, no longer is required to do so and has the opportunity to go back and make a retrospective error correction and reclaim the VAT that was previously paid. So if this does impact you, please do get in touch.